One of the issues that I hear about from a lot of people across the district is childcare. A lot of families aren't able to go back to work. I've experienced with this in the schools that I started, where many of the students that we serve aren't in school, dropped out of school because they're young mothers and they weren't able to get childcare for their kids so that they could get back into school. This is something that we need to tackle as a country. We should have childcare as a universal right. My plan calls for free childcare for families that are making $40,000 a year or less. And also a sliding scale of assistance, because this isn't just an issue that affects poor families, it affects middle-class families and upper-middle-class families. Child care is difficult for everybody. Studies show that one of the most important ways to predict a child's success in school and even in life is whether they had quality early childhood education. They need to arrive at school ready to learn. I chaired a task force on reforming high schools, and the best recommendation and the best way to reform high schools is to have universal early childhood education and then just wait 16 years, and guess what? The high schools will look a lot better. In those early brain development stages, it's critical that we have good quality child care for all kids. Part of it is a pay issue. Child care providers in Colorado make about $9 an hour on average. We need to have better training, better pay, and make sure that the people taking care of kids are qualified to do it, and the people that we want taking care of our kids, and we have full background checks, make sure that it's a safe environment for the kids, and we can do that through increased federal funding. Congress has done zero on this issue in the last several decades. We talked about it in the early 70s in the Nixon administration, but there's been no real progress since most Western European countries have a national child care policy so families can get back to work. But here in this country, there's no good way out of it. And again, it's something that Congress must tackle and should tackle, and it's just a matter of national priorities. I visited Google today. There was an article recently in the New York Times about how Google is struggling with providing child care for their employees. But this is something that's not unique to any company of all sizes. They want to retain and keep their good employees.